The new Mercedes E-Class is huge news for any company car driver because, as one of the most popular big executive saloons there is, it is a true stalwart of any company car park. And compared with the car it replaces, the new E-Class is cleaner, lighter and much more technologically advanced. You'll notice that the styling is very reminiscent of Mercedes' other saloon cars. It kind of looks like a scaled up version of the C-Class, which in turn looks like a scaled down version of the S-Class. That means you're left in absolutely no doubt as to what brand of car it is that you're looking at, and it has to be said, it's a fairly handsome looking thing. As standard, you get sparkly LEDs in the headlamps and the tail lights, and alloy wheels are standard fit as well. Be aware though that all UK cars will have the 3-pointed star on the grille rather than the bonnet. You'll notice more than a hint of S-Class inside the car as well, with sophisticated interior design and properly lavish materials. Granted, there are more optional trim pieces in this particular car than you could shake a lavishly appointed stick at, so it's hard to tell exactly how posh the E-Class will feel in its standard form. However, looking at this, you've got to say it looks pretty encouraging. Another thing that makes the E-Class feel luxurious is the large amount of space on offer, which allows even tall passengers enough room to spread out in comfort. The boot is also a very presentable size, but like other cars in this class, you have to pay extra for a split folding rear seat. You get a suitably high-tech feel as well, thanks in no small part to these touch-sensitive pads on the steering wheel. Through a series of vertical and horizontal swiping movements, you can control all aspects of the infotainment system. The idea being that you keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. But does it work? Well, if we're honest, so far we found it to be a little bit hit and miss. So we reckon you're best off just using the good old wheel controller on the center console. The really big news, however, is the new 4-cylinder diesel engine. Why? Well, because A, it'll account for the vast majority of sales, and B, because in the old car, the most popular engine was also one of its biggest weak points due to the frankly unacceptable amount of noise and vibration that it gave off. But we're happy to report that that is no longer the case. The new 2-litre unit stays smooth and quiet and sophisticated, and it works really nicely with the 9-speed automatic gearbox that comes as standard. It delivers a fair old turn of speed too, as well it might, with 192 brake horsepower and 295 pounds-foot of torque. Combine that with a fuel economy figure of 72 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions as low as 102 grams per kilometre, and you have got a very impressive combination. This has got to be the coolest thing though. If you specify an optional system called Drive Pilot, then the car pretty much drives itself. It reads the speed limit of the road and then sets the radar cruise control accordingly, and it'll follow the car in front, taking care of all your braking and acceleration. It'll even help out with the steering, and man, it is spooky. Importantly, for a big exec saloon, the ride in this car is super smooth, and the handling is pretty agile as well. However, that might well have something to do with the 1,500 quid's worth of optional air suspension fitted to this particular car. The big question is how it will behave on its standard steel springs, and unfortunately that's not a question we can answer until we try it. For that reason, and quite a few others, we can't deliver a definitive verdict on the new E-Class just yet. However, on the evidence of what we've seen, heard and felt, things are looking very promising indeed. Yes, this is a very hotly contested sector of the market, But even so, we fully expect the E-Class to be dusting it with the very best.